All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's May 3rd. We got 2 NBA games on the playoff slate tonight. Like we always do, we go through each and every game. I'll give you my lean. I give you what I'm thinking on the game, and I'll give you where my head's at. But check the pinned comment throughout the day. That's where any of my final plays will live, whether it's a spread pick, whether it's the total, any player props that we add that we don't get through in the video. Make sure to check that out. In that pinned comment will be the Discord link as well, where I go and explain any additional plays. Great place to join too. We got 1,000 members in there, so kicking around bet ideas, advice, ideas, everything like that. So make sure to check out that discount link. Free to join, just a bunch of people, like-minded people in there talking about some NBA betting here. But we're starting off tonight with the Celtics taking on the Bucks here. Celtics 4.5-point favorites. Now, obviously, when we look back at the last game here, the Celtics ended up taking the L 101-89 as Milwaukee took the win there. And, it wasn't that surprising to me. If you listen to my analysis, if we really want to call it that, in the previous video when looking at this game, I'm a Celtics fan. I tell you guys I'm a Celtics fan all the time. I didn't end up making that a final play, taking the Celtics, because I do think that this Bucks team is very, very good. I just don't know if I can bet against the Celtics, against anyone right now. And they're 4.5-point favorites tonight, and I think I'm in a similar boat. Like, I could totally see my Boston Celtics coming back and bouncing back, playing some better basketball, saying, oh my God, we got kind of, caught with our you-know-what in our hands in game one. We competed for a little bit, but then all of a sudden when it was all said and done, it doesn't even look like it was a close game. That type of thing. I could see them bouncing back, saying, screw that, we are better than this. We've been on a tear. Let's go and cover this game or win this game. So I'm going to probably lean Celtics minus 4.5, but that's probably, strongly coming out of some Celtics bias, I'm being completely honest. In terms of injuries, Hill and Middleton still out for the Bucks, and Marcus Smart questionable now with a quad injury. Hopefully he plays. Obviously, that would be a pretty big hit to the Celtics there, especially when trying to beat this team. But Celtics minus 4.5, gonna be my lean. I don't necessarily love it. I do like the over in this one, 215.5. Now I know the first game out, this is a very, very, very low scoring game in terms of 101-89, meaning that was only a 190-point game. Now we're looking at a 215 total. For whatever reason, I do think that this one comes out and the Celtics get off to the races, scoring a lot of buckets, and Milwaukee's gonna try and keep up with them, which they definitely can, which I think leans to, will lean in, will aid towards an over, I guess, and especially because every single sort of total trend that I looked at was screaming the under. So look at this for Milwaukee. The under is 6-0 in their last 6 overall. The under is 5-0 when their last 5 opponent allow 100 points or more in their previous game. The Celtics allowed 101. The under is 5-0 in their last 5 games when they score 100 points or more in their previous game. And the under is 4-0 in their last 4 games following a straight up win. For whatever reason, I'm sensing, okay, you know what? Everything says under. So why don't I be the dummy in the room and say, okay, I think this one's going to go over. So we're going to lean over there because the Celtics have plenty of under trends as well, so kind of in the same boat. Again, I don't know if you think that that's a dumb way of thinking about it or just sort of like a, next shoe to fall. It's been unders. How about a high-scoring game for once? I think that's what's going to happen here. And for the Celtics, over 6-1 in the last 7 games when playing on 1 day's rest. So I do think that they're going to come out and score some points. And if Milwaukee wants to make it a game, they're going to keep up with it and they're going to like the over. So I do like the over probably more than Celtics minus 4.5, but neither one of these I truly love. So keep an eye on the pinned comment, see if they will be final plays. But as of right now, that is what I'm leaning. Guys, we do have the giveaway announcement coming soon. So once we get back to the setup, get back to the desk, not the car, we will be going through and all the ballers that entered the giveaway. I will check it out. If you guys do want to become a baller and support the channel, it's $2.99 a month. All you got to do is, hit the join button. It's either going to be in the pinned comment, the description, or if you're on a desktop or a laptop or a computer, just not a phone, the join button will be right next to the subscribe button. You get a badge next to your name, some emojis that you can use that no one else can use unless you're a baller. And we have some pretty big things planned for ballers. Obviously, we just opened it up about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, so we're still trying to work in exactly how we can make that the best experience for you guys. But yeah, make sure to do that. And thank you again for everyone that entered the giveaway. And we'll be getting some Fade Me merch out to the winner shortly. So we will keep you updated there. But guys, the ride of the day yesterday too. We didn't jump into this just yet. The ride of the day yesterday, Thomas Kingston, he is a baller as well. Had Jalen Brunson over 19.5 points. He's hit it in 5 straight up until last night. Your boy Ev jumps on board, and Jalen Brunson does not hit that number. So I was the kiss of death. I was the jinx there. But shout out to to Thomas there for the ride of the day. I was the jinx. If he'd hit it 5 games in his previous, over 19.5 points, and he had like 13 or 14 last night. So that was my issue. If you do want to drop a pick in the chat, use hashtag ride of the day, and I'll be jumping on board with one person, and you guys will get a shout out in the next video, win or loss. I'll let you know if I'm riding by replying to your comment, and then it becomes one of my plays, and you guys will get a shout out in the next video. So make sure to do that. Hashtag ride of the day. A lot of people say, hey, here's my pick. Guys, you got to use hashtag ride of the day. It's the one rule. Just use hashtag ride of the day. I read all the comments and everything like that, but people that just give me a pick, I don't ride with unless we're using the proper hashtag there. So, just something to note there. But let's jump into the final game of the night. We have the Grizzlies 2-point dogs at home against Golden State. This one was obviously a close one. The Warriors came back and took the win, but this was a close one last time out as the Warriors won that game by 1. We were on the right side of that one, pulling the trigger on Warriors money line, which is, I guess, lucky for us there because we easily could have put all our unit play on the -1.5. But 2-point spread tonight. Again, 1-point win for the Warriors. And if I'm reading this correctly too, I don't know if this is right, but I'm looking at okay, all right, good. I was reading. I don't even want to sound like an idiot there. But all right, for injuries here, we have Iguodala out, Wiseman out. And then for Memphis, we have Desmond Bane. He's questionable. And then Steven Adams still out there. No other injuries to note, really. So this is going to be, keep an eye on Desmond Bane. I don't think it's going to hurt my lean either way because I still like the Warriors -2. Now, I know that this Grizzlies team is very good, and they compete and they grind. And honestly, they can beat anybody. I get that. But this Warriors team, I feel like people just seem to forget, when healthy, how good this team is. At the beginning of the year, this Warriors team was like, space-bound for the finals. So I just think that this Warriors team, when healthy, which they are as of right now, can really beat anyone. And this Memphis team is so young that I could see them in any point in this series being like, you know what, like this is too much for us. We're overwhelmed, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's how I feel. So you'll probably catch me leaning Golden State almost every single game in this series because I truly believe they are the more experienced and better team. Now, Ja Morant and Cass, they have some amazing young talent that, for years to come, they will be a team that's going to be in the playoffs and beating a lot of good teams. But I think that this is sort of like where they broke out, and they've already sort of accomplished so much this year that at some point they could get overwhelmed with where they are and what they're doing. So I'm going to lean Golden State -2 in this one. The total's 227. I don't like that. I think that's a little too high. Now, obviously, it did hit last game, but it is just a little bit too high for me. And I like this one too because you guys know how I like to look at the public money and the public betting there. I think that, the fact that the public, 52% of the public are on Golden State here. I like that. I like that we're in the minority there, a little bit of a contrarian pick. But in terms of some of the trends just to look at here, The Grizzlies here, they are 5-1 in their last 6 games against the home underdog, 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games versus a team with a winning percentage above 600. And then for the Warriors, I'm seeing over in terms of trends. So if you do like the over, go for it. I don't necessarily like it. I think that is a fairly high number, but I like to give you guys everything that I come across. So yes, Grizzlies, a lot of their against the spread numbers look like they're trending in the right direction. But again, I just kind of gave you I guess my rationale behind Warriors -2. I think that, on paper, the Grizzlies look like they could be the team if you're plugging into any sort of formulas or anything that you've built like that to help you predict games. The Grizzlies are going to look like they could be the team to win this game, but I do still think it comes down to the mental and experience aspect of it. And let's not forget how good Steph Curry can be. And honestly, Klay hasn't been that great, I wouldn't say, but how good he can be. Draymond, they do have these guys with some additional members this year. So I'm going to lean Warriors there -2. And that is going to wrap it up for the predictions portion of the video, guys. I got a comment in the last video being like, you ramble too much on the games. There's only 2 games per night now, so I'm going to be doing my research, giving you kind of all of my verbal diarrhea that I want to give and need to give you my rationale behind games. Sometimes it's going to be emotional based, that is kind of backed by research, and sometimes it'll just be straight research. I don't even like this, but here are the numbers, here are the trends, blah, blah, blah. Today, both of these games kind of have more of a gut feeling in them, and you know what? That is what it is. I keep it transparent on this channel. It's not always going to be, I plug this into my formula and projected the points. I'm just going to follow the numbers. Now, I like both these games after watching game 1 of the series, and I kind of like where my head's at on these ones. So make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment for any final plays. I'll tell you the Warriors -2 probably is the most finalist play that we have in the video here, but we probably will add a couple player props. We're not forcing anything as always, but you know, keep an eye on the pinned comment for any additional plays that we come across. You might get 2 or 3 plays in there with a couple player props or whatnot. But that is going to wrap it up for the video. One last shout out. Use hashtag ride of the day. Shout out to Thomas Kingston for his pick last night that I absolutely jinxed, kiss of death. But use hashtag ride of the day if you guys do have a player prop or a pick that you guys want me to jump on board with. And I'll be jumping on board with one person in the comments. But until next video, guys, as always, peace out.